Hello everyone, it's Kelsey. So today I'm coming to you with what I call my kindergarten curriculum. These are all books that I'm going to be showing you that I use in my daughter's kindergarten curriculum. So I'm going to start with the smallest and basically go to the largest because that's just how I have them stacked up. And so you'll find out what I use. Now some of these are just books that I graze over and lightly touch on the subject because some of the books are for older grades, but they have some great information that is broken down well for kids to understand. So I use those books for her just to give her little tidbits of information from them. So the first book I use is 50 Science Things to Do and Make. I actually did make a video. I actually have another video that I need to upload soon about science projects that you can do and make. Just what I like about this is that it, like I like this oil one right here. It tells you what's going on in the science of the project that you are doing. So when you mix things like oil and vinegar, like why is it separating like that? And there's just like some other things in here that are really interesting. Making gloop, that is actually the next video that I need to upload for you because we actually did this science project. So that is one of the books. What are germs? Now this one's really great for young kids, young children, because it's very broken down to like simple questions and simple answers. And this is important, especially now in the coronavirus times, to be able to tell kids what are germs, where are they, and what they look like, and how do they spread, and how does your body fight them, and so in medicines, and how can you stop germs, which is really important to teach your kids, especially right now. So here's this. What are feelings? This one's great for children who are starting to understand what feelings and emotions are. I was actually doing this one today with my daughter, and she was able to correctly guess like how each of these animals were feeling based on what they were saying. So I asked her, why does this animal want to be left alone? And she goes, because he's angry. And I go, oh yeah, that's right. I was actually surprised that she actually got it. Like she said angry, which that's what it said, instead of mad. But it also tells us what makes us happy, what makes us sad, and it even touches on death. What makes us angry, why do we worry, and what makes us scared, and how do we deal with our feelings. In each one it says all different questions that you can answer for them, so it's easy for you to answer these questions with your children. This thing I thought was very important. I bought this book because death is going to be something that my daughter is going to have to deal with in the future, and she already lost her grandfather, and she didn't understand death. She didn't understand that she wasn't going to see him again. And this book is very important to me because I'm able to easily tell her like why things die and what happens to things when they die, and is it okay to talk about dying, and this talks about what happens, and it doesn't go into anything religious, so this could be for anyone. This actually says there are different ideas about what happened when you die, and it's one of life's biggest questions, so it never touches on a religious subject because it's not saying that any way that you believe is wrong, which was very important for me to have as a message to her. And talking about grief and how can you stop being sad, and how you can live on their memories with happy memories by doing things that they love to do. So these are great questions and great answers in this book. Getting started with science. This is great because it touches the subject of science on each one. So you can do like a page or two each day with your child during homeschooling. It doesn't give like a ton of information, but it touches on subjects, which is really great for little minds. So, and it will get them, you can kind of find out what they're interested in by seeing what they're interested in this book. Now, step-by-step drawing book. I cannot draw for the life of me. I am horrible at drawing. This book allows me to be able to draw things, and my daughter is able to follow the steps. So they have like all these different ways. I don't let her draw in the book. I actually do separate papers because I think it's more fun that way actually. But I love this. And then at the end of the book, it has like just how to draw faces and like different emotions. So it's basically all stick figures, but it's the beginning of drawing, which is fine. And here's animal heads. My daughter saw that there was a seal and she's obsessed with seals. So we drew some seals. And it talks about doing different shapes and how you can put some of the pictures together to make really fun pictures. So my very first art book, this one is great because it kind of gives you inspiration on using like paper, ripped up paper, shapes, and splatter. It gives you like ideas of what to do with art. This is great for like, it is great for kindergarten because there's like some projects that are great for like little kids. So this is a great introduction to art. So I really like it. It's fun. I want to say this deals with fingerprints, doing art with fingerprints, which is really fun, especially for kids in kindergarten. My very first space book. This book is great because it touches on the subject of space and the planets. My favorite page, I want to say my daughter really loves, is this one. And it just shows you all the planets and we can talk about where the planets are, and she likes looking at them and seeing which ones have rings and the colors of them. And she knows we live on Earth and we have a moon, so it's really interesting to her to look at this. And then we talk about like astronauts and what they do when they live on space. So this one's a very fun book for her. See Inside Your Body. Now this book, it is kind of like old for her, but it's very interesting. So she can at least get an idea of what your body looks like on the inside. So this is a lift a flat book, so everything, it shows you like where your kidneys are. It's what a blood cell looks like. This is a very, sorry, my phone went off for a second. So yeah, this is very simplified, so it's a great starting point for children, so they can kind of see like where their throat and kidneys and intestines and everything is. So yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't go too detailed about the female or male body. There are books about that for boys and girls if that's something you're interested in, but that is, I'm not going to go into detail with that in kindergarten. Like she'll know what it is, but I'm not going to go into detail about those body parts quite yet. So the illustrated alphabet. This you would seem that it's kind of young for her because she does know her alphabet, but it is a really fun book. What I like about it is that it does different animals than what you're kind of used to for the letters. So like C for cockatoo, you don't normally say C for cockatoo. So this was interesting, and so yeah. And it says a lot of, like, B is for baboon. It says a lot of B words in it. This says a lot of C words. So each one, it focuses on the letter that it is. So E, there's a lot of E words. So it's really interesting, and it's definitely something that can be helpful. W is for wombat. Like isn't that crazy? That it does different animals, and then your child is able to learn about different animals in the world. So there's that, and it comes in the sleeve, and it's like this really nice like fabric cover, and it has a ribbon in it. I like this book. The Children's World Cookbook. I got this because we are going to explore the worlds that we're in, basically. So we're going to start off with the United States because that's where we live, and then we are going to go on to countries that our ancestors are from. So we're going to go to France and Italy and Ireland and England, and then we're going to go to some of our favorite countries. Like, we love Mexico, so we're going to go to Mexico. I would love to go to Greece and like Japan, so we're going to go to Greece and Japan. And these books are really interesting. This book, because it gives you recipes and a little information about each country that the recipe is from. So in Italy, it gives you a little information about it and like different types of pastas and spaghettis that they have. Gives you a recipe. And this one has a pizza recipe. And I know in Italy, the pizza is like way different than how it is here, especially in Connecticut. Spain, it has a paella recipe. It talks about spices that are popular in certain parts of the world. France, it has this tart. So you definitely get a great mix of, like, I'm excited for Africa. They have this peanut bread in it, so we're going to do some baking and stuff. So I'm excited about it. In the Caribbean. So this is a great cookbook for kids, and it says some information about each country that you talk about. And now Our World. This is a really fun book. It is a turn and learn, so it's really fun. Now this has a lot of information too, but in kindergarten you can definitely just brief over it. You don't have to go into too detailed, because in kindergarten I feel like there's a lot for them to learn and understand, so you don't have to get too detailed into it in kindergarten. But this talks about the desert, and it talks about a sandstorm hitting and a hot day in the desert. This is the rainforest. So the Amazon rainforest is in Brazil. The Sumatran rainforest is in Indonesia. This is about the Arctic. It says polar bears come from the Arctic, and penguins live in Antarctica. This is about the savannah. Animals need water holes in dry season, and wildebeest migrate at the end of the rainy season. And this is about the sea. The sunlight zone is at the top of the sea. The dark zone is deep beneath the sea surface. So, and then it has information all about the sea, and why is the sea salty, and I believe it talks about like the salt doesn't evaporate, So rain isn't salty. I believe it touches on that. Actually, I think this is the one that touches on that. This is the weather book. It's really fun. It talks about the sun, and plants use sunlight to make food and oxygen. Plants need sun to survive. This is about rain. Water vapor makes clouds from which rain falls. And moisture rises when the sun heats the ocean.
What's called at night?
Extreme wind can destroy. This is about wind. Extreme wind can destroy houses and vehicles. And the U.S. experiences the most tornadoes. This is about snow and ice. Baby seals stay on the ice while their mothers hunt. Seals use sea ice for resting on. And it talks about snow and ice. Last but not least, thunder and lightning. A large rainstorm could power the U.S. for 20 minutes. And a lightning bolt may contain 1 billion volts. Which is really interesting. That is a really fun book. Now this one is definitely something that I don't go into crazy detail. We are learning about continents and everything, but because we live in the USA, we definitely want to learn some history of the USA. So I got this book because it starts off with the colonies, the Declaration of Independence, the start of America, and it goes on to talk about the Louisiana Purchase and the other territories that become part of America. It's really interesting. And my camera keeps on going in and out. So it keeps on stopping and starting. So it keeps on going as you see the times. So it tells you like basically the history of America. And what I love is as time goes on, it like adds more and more historical figures to the map. So this was actually published in 2020. It's a brand new book, so it's up to date, which is great. This is the All About Friends book. I believe this was published in 2020 as well. This is brand new. This talks about excuse me, what friends are and why do we need friends and what makes good friends, who can be friends, making friends, what friends do together, friendship groups, how not to be friends. And this book was bought kind of specifically because we do have some people that we were friends with and their behavior wasn't good for playing, so we had to not make friends with those people. So it's kind of a way to teach how not to be friends with someone because of their behavior and their actions, and what happens when friends stop becoming friends and how you can become friends again, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes good friends have a fallout. Friends and feelings, how to deal with friends when they have feelings, different types of feelings, how to play fair, ways to fix things, changing and growing, kind of shows how friends move away or they break apart or they stay friends forever, because we definitely know, especially after graduating high school, we don't always stay friends with everyone that we were friends with. And it basically has some notes for grown-ups and some puzzles to do, which is very, very cool. Now this one is one that we use every day. It's the Children's Picture Atlas. I like this. It does talk about the different types of habitats. Talks about people and countries and cities, ice and snow again, the desert, forests, mountains, rivers and lakes, seas and oceans, and the world. We use this page a lot because we are really focusing on learning the continents. So we have a song that we sing to learn all the continents. So that's something that's important for her to be able to point out where North America and South America and Australia are. So, and then we can get more into detail of specific countries. So, which I like. And all these pictures are like, there are, like, can you find these things on the maps? And it has like all of these pictures, and then you have to go and find them. My daughter's really interested in it right now. She wants to go and find things on the map. And it shows you, like you can see here, where in the continent, or where in the world this continent is. So, it's very interesting. I really like that. And it talks about the Arctic and Antarctica and how they're on separate parts of the world. So it's really fun. Now here's a couple things that I use. I use this beginning pen control. My daughter is very messy writing sometimes. She's getting a lot better, like a lot better. And this book has helped because she's able to trace the zigzags and the loops and everything. So each one is different. In the jungle, on the beach, at the train station. So there's lots of things to trace. Wherever's dotted, that's where they want you to trace. And it helps you get more control of your penmanship. This, I don't think I'm going to be using this until later in the school year, because this is kind of, some of it, she kind of has to know how to read. So we're learning how to read right now. So this will definitely help her. Like, well, I think she can use the adding one now. This is really great for adding, addition. It's great for that, and it's really fun. It has fun activities in it. So there's that. It comes with 2 pen-like wipe clean books, or wipe clean pens. And these pages are really thin, but they're good. They're nice. They're really nice. They're still durable, and the binding is better. So this right here, it's just a staple binding, and these are very thick pages. And this is like, I don't know, a legit binding. I want to say it's like glued or something, but this is like a thinner page, but they're still very nice. They feel really good quality. There's a subtracting book in this as well. And this is the introductory wipe clean pack. If I didn't say that already, which I don't think I did. Subtracting, so there's a separate book for subtracting. And this, again, it has a lot of really fun things to do, and I believe this goes up to 20. It doesn't go past 20. And the same for the adding. I believe it only goes up to 20. Spelling. This is why I think that they kind of need to know how to read. Spelling and grammar and punctuation. They kind of have to know how to read and write to be able to use these. So I think towards the end of kindergarten, this would be better. Probably more first grade. These will definitely be useful then. So there's that. And one thing. So I'll show you what I'm using to teach my daughter to read. I'm not using an Usborne book. Like, of course I'm going to be using Usborne books that she's going to read in the future that will help her learn how to read more. Right now we're doing this Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. So this is the book that we're reading. We're on lesson 10. So I like this because all the red is my script. I don't have to really think about anything. It tells you what to say, and it tells you where to point. It gives you directions on what to do, and it's all spelled out for you really, and it helps the child to read. Like my daughter, today we did lesson 9, and she was able to read sat and am and mat all on her own, so it is helping. So it definitely, this is a good book to use, but it's not for everyone. Some children, I don't know if they'll learn that way. There's a lot of different ways to teach your child how to read. I use this every day. This is our Nibbles the Book Monster calendar. My daughter loves Nibbles. She loves Nibbles. Nibbles is like her favorite book. She loves Nibbles the Book Monster. Now we have Nibbles the Monster Hunt. She loves that book too. So we are getting really familiar with the days of the week, dates, the months, and weather. So this will really help, and it even touches on your feelings. So today I'm feeling, and it has different types of feelings: happy, excited, hungry, grumpy, quiet. And then of course it has all the days of the weeks, and it has the numbers for the date, and it has all the months, and it has different types of weather conditions. Today it's sunny, and it even adds something that the kids can nibble on. Because we did reading today, I had it nibbling on books, and she was happy today, so we put that she was happy. So yeah, that's basically all I have right now for my curriculum. I do have the Count to 100 book. It was out of stock and it just came back in stock, so I am getting that in soon. I thought that the Count to 100 book might be a little bit too young for her, but after taking a closer look at it, it does up to 10, and then it does 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it teaches how to count by tens, and it also puts things into fives, so you can learn how to count by fives. So that was something that was important as well. Well, as of right now, thank you for checking out all the books that I am using for my kindergarten curriculum, and I hope this helped in some way. If you need any books, please let me know, and I will try to help get them for you. All right, bye.
Bye.